Hello students, in B.Sc semester 2nd of botany subjects contains two papers. One is the diversity of archegoniates, another is the genetics. जेनेटिक्स पेपर की जो बात करें तो उसमें मोस्टली टॉपिक्स आपने 11th या 12th में किए हुए हैं, जिसमें आपने उन टॉपिक्स के जो बेसिक्स हैं वो आपने पढ़े हुए हैं, लाइक द डीएनए रेप्लिकेशन, ट्रांसक्रिप्शन, ट्रांसलेशन, राइबोसोम्स, एक्स्ट्रा क्रोमोसोमल डीएनए, प्रोटीन्स, एटसेट्रा. बट बीएससी स्टैंडर्ड के जो उनकी जो डेप्थ है वो हम बीएससी में कराएंगे, आइदर थ्रू द नोट्स, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस और वीडियो. तो जेनेटिक्स पेपर के जो आई थिंक 3 टॉपिक्स के जो नोट्स हैं वो मैं आपको ऑलरेडी सेंड कर चुका हूँ, और अल्टरनेट डे या जब भी ऐसा लगेगा कि उसकी नेसेसिटी है उसको मैं करता रहूँगा. बट इन पैरेलल ऑफ जेनेटिक्स पेपर we also start to study about the another paper, that is the diversity of archegoniates. डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ आर्किगोनियट्स के अंदर आप दो टाइप्स के प्लांट्स पढ़ोगे, जिसमें ब्रायोफाइट्स हैं एंड ट्राइडोफाइट्स. ब्रायोफाइट्स के 3 प्लांट्स हैं, मार्केंसिया, एंथोसिरोस एंड फुनेरिया. इन ट्राइडोफाइट्स के अंदर यू विल आल्सो स्टडी 3 plants, Selaginella, Equistum and Terrace. In addition of 6 plants, you will also study the general topics of the bryophytes as well as the pteridophytes. So today we will study about the Marchantia plants. So before we study of the Marchantia, so first I want to give a brief description about the bryophytes. Bryophyte includes more than 1000 genera and approximately 25,000 species, which are the simplest and most primitive land plants. They are essentially terrestrial but require water at every step of their life cycle. They fail in complete their life cycle without water, means in the absence of water. Bryophytes plants usually grow in moist and sandy places. However, a few plants of this group grow under diverse habitats such as the aquatic, submerged in water, in bogs, epiphyllous, or, or in deserts. Bryophytes are considered as the amphibians of the plant kingdom. The bryophytes are fundamentally terrestrial plants and adapted certain special features to grow under land environments, such as they possess root-like structures called the rhizoids to fix and absorb water from the soil. The free surface of epidermis is coated with a waterproof waxy substance. In many liverworts and mosses, to reduce loss of water and protect against desiccation. They possess stomata-like structure such as the air pores to exchange the gases for the respiration or tra- or photosynthesis. The presence of water is necessary for the dehiscence of the antheridia, liberation of antherozoids, transfer of antherozoids from antheridia to archegonia, opening of archegonial neck, and movement of antherozoids into the archegonial neck. Thus, the life cycle of the bryophytes will not complete if the water is not available. So first we started from the first plant, that is the Marchantia. The systematic position of the Marchantia, that is division, means it belongs from the division Bryophyta, class Hapticopsida, order Marchantiales, family Marchantiaceae, genus Marchantia. As you see the plants, that is the Marchantia plants, that in these two figures. The Hapticopsida are popularly known as the liverworts because the plants belonging to these groups are liver shaped. So they are called the liverworts. The genus Marchantia includes about 65 species distributed all over the world. In India, only 11 species have been reported. All the species are terrestrial, growing on moist sandy places, damp soil, moist rocks, bank of streams, damp burnt soil, means usually after forest fire. Some of the common Indian species and their distinctive features, that is Marchantia polymorpha, Marchantia palmata, Marchantia naplensis. In addition of these three common species, the others are the Marchantia indica, which are reported from the hills of Himalaya and plains, Marchantia similana, reported from the Simla. The plants are vegetatively grow throughout the year but produce sex organs, means antheriopores or archegoniopores, in the month of the February and March in Himalayas and October and November in the South Indian hills. Next, that is the adult gametophytes, means adult gametophytic plant body of the Marchantia. Students, in the bryophytes, that is the dominant phase is the gametophytic. That is the means maximum life cycle part, means maximum part of the life cycle is governed by gametophytic phase or gametophytic type. That is one N in nature. The main plant body of Marchantia are gametophyte, means haploid, which is usually called a thallus. Thallus किसको कहते हैं? Means thallus is a body in which true root, true stem, and true leaves are absent. Marchantia plant body are large, reaching up to 10 centimeter in length, prostrate, flat, dorsiventral, somewhat fleshy and dark green in color. Each thallus is dichotomous, as you see, that is this dichotomously branched, and the branch is called a lobe. Dorsal surface of thallus, the dorsal surface of thallus, that is this, the dorsal surface of thallus lobe shows prominent midrib, that is this is the prominent midrib, as you seen here, that is the prominent midrib. or median longitudinal furrow, which deepens at the apex, as you seen in the deepens at the apex, and in the apex forming an apical notch where the growing point is situated. जब हम इसको कोई हैंड लाइन से देखेंगे तो dorsal surface show the diamond shaped polygonal areas. These areas represent the underlying air chambers and the dot-like structures that is termed known as the represent the air pores. The thalli also shows the presence of certain cup-like structures called the gamma cups, which are normally borne along the midrib. These gamma cups include a number of gammae which are meant for the vegetative reproduction or asexual reproduction. Sex organs are brought in special upright branches attached to the dorsal surface near the apical notch. Antheridiopores bear the antheridia and archegoniopores bear the archegonia. Next, we study about the ventral surface of thallus. The ventral surface shows the median longitudinal groove, that is, this is the median longitudinal groove. The rhizoids and scales, as you see in the rhizoids and scales, these are the two types of the scales, and rhizoids are also the two types. The rhizoids and scales are attached to the ventral surface. The rhizoids are the two types, smooth-walled and tuberculate. The smooth-walled rhizoids are simple, that is this is the simple elongated cells with their inner walls smooth, that is, there is no peg-like ingrowths in the smooth-walled. The smooth-walled rhizoids are living cells and contain a colorless protoplasm. They fix the plant body to the substratum and absorb water and soil solutes. Other type of the rhizoids, that is the tuberculate rhizoids. The tuberculate rhizoids are elongated tubular cells with prominent peg-like ingrowths in their inner walls. The peg-like projections or ingrowths are called the tubercles and appear circular dot-like in surface view. They are living in beginning but lack protoplasm at maturity. The tuberculate rhizoids arise from beneath the scales, run parallel to the surface, appressed to the thallus, means चिपकते हुए, attach होते हुए, and they form a capillary conducting system to retain the moisture in the ventral surface of the thallus and carry water to all the absorptive parts. In addition to the rhizoids, the scales are present toward the ventral surface of the thallus. The scales are arranged in 2 to 4 rows on each side of the midrib. These are the rows, 2 to 4 rows. In Marchantia polymorpha, usually 3 rows of scales are present: the inner rows, middle row, and outer row. The scales present in the inner row are appendiculate. These are the types of the scales: appendiculate, whereas those present in other two rows are ligulate or simple type of scales. This is the appendiculate type of the scale and this is the ligulate type of scales. The appendiculate scales are large, wedge-shaped and bear a sub-round appendage at their tip, that is the this. The ligulate scales are simple, small, tongue-shaped without any appendage. Each scale is multicellular, membranous, plate-like and one cell layer thick. They are purplish in color. Some of the marginal cells of scale develop into mucilage papilla. The papillae arise as idioblasts, idioblast cells, elongate and become club-shaped. They secrete mucilage and protect the growing points from dryness or the desiccation. The scales are obliquely placed and thus form a network in the undersurface of thallus to retain the moisture. Internally, the thallus is differentiated into two distinct zones or area. One is the upper green photosynthetic, that is this upper green photosynthetic or assimilatory zone, and the lower, this is the this colorless storage zone. The epidermis is well differentiated in the thallus. The epidermal, first we will study started from the epidermal region. The thallus has a well marked upper and lower epidermis as you seen here. The upper epidermis is single layered, consists of thin walled cells which contain a large chloroplast. The cells have their outer wall slightly thickened. Epidermis is interrupted by crustic barrel-shaped air pores, that is this barrel-shaped air pore consists of barrel-shaped air pores, one at the roof of each air chamber, that is this is the each air chamber. Each air pore consists of 4 to 8 superimposed tiers of cells. Each tier is oval ring composed of 4 to 5 cells. Thus, there may be 16 to 40 cells in each pore, and which are arranged in the shape of barrel, enclosing a passage which is broad in the middle, and narrow above and below. And the barrel is fixed in such a way that half of it projects above the level of the epidermis, and half of it embedded in the air chamber. The surface view of air pore may look like circular or star-shaped. The main function of air pore is exchange of the air for the respiration as well as the photosynthesis. Next, that is the photosynthetic zone or assimilatory zone. The upper portion of thallus consists of regularly arranged air chambers separated with each other, that is this separation, with each other by septa or the partition wall. The septa is single layered, 2 to 4 cells in height. The air chamber are usually hexagonal or polygonal in surface view and look rectangular in vertical section. Each chamber opens on dorsal surface by means of single barrel-shaped pore, means barrel-shaped air pore, and that barrel-shaped air pore situated in the center or centrally. A large number of photosynthetic or assimilatory filaments arise from the floor of the air chamber. These filaments are multicellular, short, simple, or branched. All the cells of assimilatory filaments, septa means partitions, and floor of air chambers contains a large number of discoid chloroplasts. These cells perform the the function of the photosynthesis. Therefore, this zone is termed as the photosynthetic zone. Next, that is the storage zone. That is this. The ventral surface of thallus is called the storage zone. This zone is thickest in the center and gradually becomes thin toward the margin. The storage zone consists of compact, colorless, thin-walled parenchymatous cells, that is this, which store starch grains and protein bodies. A few cells are filled with mucilage and oil bodies. A few cells in the midrib region are thick-walled and serve the functions of conducting, called the conducting strand. The lower surface, that is, this is the lower surface of storage zone, is bounded by the lower epidermis. Two types of rhizoids and scales arise from the lower epidermis. Next, go to the reproductions. In Marchantia plants or the Marchantia plants reproduce vegetatively or means asexually as well as the sexually. Vegetative reproductions means asexual reproductions. One is the fragmentations, that is seen here. This method is common in all the liverworts. It occurs by progressive death or decay, that is progressive death and decay of posterior portion or the older portion. With aging, the older posterior portion of thalli are decayed. When decaying reaches the dichotomy, that is dichotomy तक वो जब वो पहुंच जाता है, the two surviving thallus lobes become separated and grow independently as new thalli. Next, that is the adventitious branches. Some special adventitious branches develop on any part of the thallus. Separate and grow means these branches separate or on separation falls on the suitable substratum and grow as a new plants or new thalli. By special asexual bodies, that is the gamma. Students, here you have the scene, that is the gamma cup. These are the gamma cup on their dorsal surface. The vegetative reproductions by special asexual reproductive bodies called the gamma. Gamma is the plural, and they are growing inside the gamma cup. The gamma are produced inside the cup shaped structure, that is जिसको कहा मैंने gamma cups or plural gamma cups. These cups are produced on dorsal surface of thallus close to the growing apex, usually along the midrib. The gamma cups are colorless, that is are the colorless, measuring roughly 2 to 4 nanometer, 2 to 4 millimeter in diameter and fringed margins. Single mature gamma. means this is the single mature gamma. This is this. Each gamma is multicellular, discoid body which is vertically inserted inside the, that is this is this, vertically inserted inside the gamma cup and attached to the floor with one-celled haline stalk, that is one-celled haline stalk. It is eight-shaped in front view and looks biconvex lens-shaped from the side view. It is several cells thick in the middle and gradually thins toward the margins. There are two growing points, that is this one growing points or another growing points situated in the cellulose notches, one on each lateral margin opposite to one another. All the cells of the gamma are green due to the presence of the chloroplasts except A, fused oil cells and rhizoidal cells. The rhizoidal cells are superficial, hyaline, and large in size. The rhizoidal cells give rise to rhizoids when the gamma produce the nucleus. How the disperse the gamma means, that is the dispersal of the gamma. The young gamma cups are closed, but at maturity they become wide open. That is, here you see the open gamma cups. The water is filled in the cavity of the cup. Several mucilage cells, that is in parallel to this, that is to gamma as well as the mucilage cells. Several mucilage cells formed from the floor of the cup are present at the base of the mature gamma. The mucilage cells absorb water and swells. On swallowing, these mucilage cells exert pressure resulted in the breaking of the single cell stalks. The free gamma floats over the surface of water and washed away by rain drops. They are dispersed to some distances and germinate as soon as they get suitable environment. Environment means substratum. How they germinate? Students, here that is fall down of the gamma. Each gamma is flat, biconvex, lens-shaped, but the dorsal and ventral surfaces are not distinct or not clear. Both the surfaces are the same in structure. When a gamma falls on a substratum, its one of the surface comes in contact with the soil, and which will become the ventral surface, and other surface remains exposed toward the upper side, and which will become the dorsal surface. The rhizoidal cells toward the lower surface elongate and penetrate into the soil and starts absorption of water and become functional. Meanwhile, the apical cells situated in the lateral notches become active. Lateral notches become active. They produce two young thalli growing in opposite direction. That is, two young thalli growing into opposite direction. That is, the central portion of gamma dies. That is, start to degenerate. The progressive death and decay of posterior portion results in the separation of the two thalli. So in this way, a single gamma germinates to produce the two thalli. Usually the gamete produced from the male thallus give rise to male thalli, and those produced from the female thallus produce the female thalli. Means the Marchantia plant is the dioecious plants. Students, sexual reproductions we will study in the next video. So today we'll stop and study up to the asexual reproductions. Thank you.